Alright guys, so I know that we don't have class tonight, so I'm going to do a quick review on factoring trinomials. You can find these notes in the class notebook. So really quick, I'm going to explain two types of problems. So I think I'm going to do about 3 or 4 problems. This video shouldn't be too long. So the first type that I'm going to do is type 1, which is where a equals 1. Okay, so I'm going to zoom in. So we have a group and it always has to go down. So, oops, sorry, my computer froze. Let me get my pen working. Okay, so we have 3 groups. Notice that the exponents, it always starts with 1. This one, it's invisible to 1 after, so it goes 2, 1, and then if you notice, this one has no variable, okay? So it always does have to be in that order. The next step you're going to do is identify A, B, and C. So A is 1, B is 8, and C is 7. So the whole goal of this is that we're trying to factor. Okay, so this is how we're going to factor. First, identify A, B, and C, and we made sure that they were in order. Now you're going to draw an X. On the top part, you're going to do A times C, and on the bottom part, you're going to be adding to B. Now, we did this a little bit in Unit 0 when we started reviewing factoring, so I'm just going to explain it again. All right, so A times C would be 1 times 7, which is 7. B is positive 8. Again, B is right here at the top. And now we're going to do factors of 7. So I always write the number, I put a line, I'm going to put the factors under it. So you have to go in order, so we're going to do 1 times 7. And then unfortunately there's no other factors for 7, so that will be the answer, 1 and 7. So this is your answer that you're going to use right here. Let me actually highlight it. So we have a 1 and we have a 7. So all you have to do for your answer is you're going to put 2 sets of parentheses. Okay, and because we're using the variable b, right, if you look up here, we're using the variable b, that's what I'm going to use here. So it's going to be b plus 1 and b plus 7. Okay, and I factored. That's all you have to do. Okay, so let me try another example for you. Okay, so let's try this one down here. Okay, so same thing, it's in the correct order. So now we have to identify A, B, and C. Oops. So A is 1. Oop, too big. B is 4, and C is negative 12. So we're going to draw the X. We're going to do A times C, and on the bottom it has to be positive B. So A times C is negative 12, and then on the bottom we have B, which is positive 4. Again, we're going to write the factors of 12. So factors of 12 mean numbers that multiply to 12. So 1 times 12, 2 times 6, and 3 times 4. So that means we have 3 options. 1, 2, 3. And we're trying to figure out which of these 3 options does it add or subtract to 4. So 1 and 12 does not work, but 2 and 6 does. So if I put 2 and 6 here, how do I make 2 and 6 become positive 4? Well, it would have to be 6 minus 2. Okay, and you can always check on the side, right? You could do negative 6 plus 2, or what happens if we make the 6 negative? But this one would be positive 4, that would be negative 4, and we want positive, so it's going to have to be these. Okay, and then again, that's your answer. So we're going to do 2 sets of parentheses. So all we have to do is write our answer. So we're going to write and use the letter N because that's the variable in this problem. Okay, and then the answer would be minus 2 and positive 6. So that's what we have right there. Again, I got those numbers from here, and I put them there. Okay, All right, and I'm just going to explain the other type really quick. The other type has an extra step. Okay, this is when a is greater than 1. So I'm going to do one example. Okay, so a is 3, b is -2, and c is -5. A times c on top plus b in the bottom. So 3 times -5 is -15. And then the b is going to go on the bottom. Factors of 15 are 1 times 15 and 3 times 5. Okay, now I want to get to the -2 on the bottom. So it would be 3 and 5. But because it's -2, we're going to make that 5 negative. Again, you can check over here. So is 5 negative or is the 3 negative? And unfortunately, it's going to be the first one. So it's 3 minus 5 equals -2, whereas -3 plus 5 would be +2. So it has to be this one, so the 5's negative. Okay, so we have 3 and -5. And our answer, we're using the letter P, plus 3, P minus 5. Whew, that's ugly. Okay, now the only thing you have to do, the extra step, this is why it's type 2, is you have to divide by the A from the beginning. Okay, so that's what I'm going to put here. Let's divide by 3. So the first one you can simplify, becomes 1. The other one you can't do 5 divided by 3, so you're going to take the 3 and slide it in front. Right? And that's how you factor type 2. Now how do you know it's a type 2 problem? That is when the first number is not 1. So if it's not 1, then it's going to be a type 2 problem. So use these notes again, look online in the class notebook or watch this video as many times as you need, and then you have a practice that you have to do in Delta Math on both types. And it will take you a while. You'll need to do work on a piece of paper, and then you're going to submit it on Seesaw. And that's all you have to do tonight.